City volunteers hold an aid distribution for Boston residents affected by the recent gas explosion incidents. The liver FibroScan is now able to accurately measure the conditions of the liver, replacing a liver biopsy. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Su. Thank you for joining us. In Boston, Massachusetts, a series of gas explosions occurred in the middle of September, resulting in dozens of casualties. More than 80 houses were damaged, and more than 8,000 people are affected, especially in the Lawrence area. Therefore, city volunteers from both Boston and New York went to distribute emergency financial assistance, helping a total of 125 families.
After the gas explosion subsided, the hardest hit area ended up being Lawrence. This is an area made up mostly of blue-collar residents, making the need even more urgent. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers from both Boston and New York immediately traveled to conduct emergency distributions.
Kind of heals a little bit and makes you feel good for a few minutes, you know, and people are out looking out for everybody.
The money, we'd love to use it for a lot of help with groceries and other stuff that we would need.
And I appreciate everything you guys do it for us, because not everybody does this, and that's very nice. And this is a God blessing.
This is one world, one community, one people. And I think that's, that's a key message.
Prepaid debit cards, eco-friendly blankets, snacks, and bamboo coin banks were all the goods given to the affected residents. While parents were busy collecting the aid materials, volunteers became instant babysitters for the children. Receiving help firsthand speaks volumes in the aftermath of a disaster.
Unfortunately, around the same time in mid-September, Hurricane Florence ravaged through the state of North Carolina as well. U.S. City volunteers and the Red Cross collaborated in the disaster relief efforts.
The water went as high as the street signs right there.
Is that right?
Yeah, they went as high as the...
covered with the water.
All covered with water. We lost all the docks are gone.
We lost all the docks.
Yeah, and then it busted through the building and completely covered it with dirt.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you so much.
This whole area back here flooded. A lot of these areas over here and over here flooded as well, and a lot of damage back in here. All of these small lakes started overflowing, and when they overflowed, they washed out the roads. They dumped all the water into the big lake, and the big lake's dam right here, it broke. There is no lake there anymore.
Because it, like I said, 40 minutes, you're not even going to touch but a little bit of it.
This is where one of the lakes here in town, it overfilled and it went over the road, and as it went over the road, it started eating away at the shoulder of the road. That piece of concrete right there used to be about 50 foot out there in the lake, way over there. The blue pipe, it's the water line, and as you can see, it's totally severed in two. The whole section's gone. It's not just cracked, it's gone. So that's why we're having water problems here in town, getting clean water to people. The county water system, I'd say at least half the town maybe doesn't have it because of this break right here.
We've been here supporting with water and food for the past 2 weeks, 15 days. After that, we're going to start implementing the engineer assets we have.
We provide short-term financial support.
It's just a nice time to be able to help people, to show that we're more than just a fighting force. We're here for them, just like EMS, fire, police. We're here to help.
Deliver letters of appreciation, the work we're doing here. They just stop by and just drop it. You can see.
All right, go ahead, let's start clearing.
It's very touching, it's very good.
To deliver disaster relief supplies in Indonesia in the aftermath of the devastating earthquake, city volunteers and team members have waited for 2 days in Makassar for a confirmation from the Indonesian military. Finally, after patiently waiting, they've gotten the okay to take the military aircraft to fly to the hardest hit area of Palu. Meanwhile, volunteers in Taiwan have also been preparing aid supplies to be delivered as soon as possible.
4 people work in one group. Volunteers of the Tzu Chi neighborhood grounds are busy putting labels on the packages that contain blankets.
印尼 Indonesia was struck by an earthquake and tsunami, so we have prepared 1,000 boxes of blankets. We're sending a total of 10,000 blankets to Indonesia. Today we mobilized 40 Tzu Chi volunteers to come here to help label the boxes.
Volunteers work together to ensure the integrity of packages. Besides blankets, the Jinsi Abode Dharma masters join hands with Tzu Chi volunteers to pack the instant rice.
We packed 222 boxes of instant rice with vegetable flavors and 193 boxes with corn flavors. There are a total of 415 boxes. The instant rice is very convenient. The earthquake survivors can prepare it right away, either with cold water or hot water.
All of the Dharma masters and volunteers hope that the aid supplies can be delivered to the disaster-struck areas in Indonesia as soon as possible.
In a related story, before the Tzu Chi disaster relief team arrived in Palu, Jakarta volunteers have also arrived in Makassar and joined the local volunteers in caring for the injured survivor evacuees that are recovering in the local hospitals.
The volunteers stood around the hospital bed and listened carefully to the injured survivor's terrifying ordeal during the earthquake. Their hearts went out to him. It's the second day that Tzu Chi volunteers care for the survivors that were transported to Makassar from Palu. 3 more Jakarta volunteers joined in the ranks, and the hospital is now filled with the images of the iconic blue and white uniforms. It's been 5 days since devastation. The emergency rooms of several local Makassar hospitals are still packed full, with ambulances continuously going in and out. Tzu Chi volunteers overcame many obstacles to be able to enter the hospitals. The records of needs are crucial in follow-up assistance and future distributions. In addition, a second group of Jakarta volunteers arrived to join the local Makassar team. The group included 3 doctors, 2 nurses, and 2 pharmacists, along with 23 boxes of medical supplies that is expected to be used in upcoming days.
In the Philippines, people are afraid of contracting tuberculosis or TB. Despite that, DaAi observers overcame their own fears and other challenges to deliver medications to TB patients. In our next report, we'll meet a DaAi observer, Anna, who was once misunderstood by the local villagers. However, with a firm resolve to help children with TB, she eventually won the villagers' trust. The rainy season in the Philippines runs from June to November. The muddy road has become very slippery due to the rain.
The path I take gets flooded. The water flow is very large down the road.
Yung palusong naman kanina talagang malakas ang ragasan ng tubig doon. Araw-araw po, ang alis ko po ay sa bahay namin 6.
I leave home at 6:45 a.m. every day and get here by 7 a.m.
As Ella's parents are away for work, she has become the biggest support for her ill younger brother. Since Anna started to visit every day this year, they built up a close relationship.
Minsan po nagkukwentuhan pa po kami ng...
Sometimes we would chat or play with him.
Minsan po nakikipaglaro-laro pa sa akin.
Ako po, takot ako. Kasi
I am afraid since other TB patients get ostracized. I do not want such things to happen to my younger brother.
si Dylan po, ayoko po na mangyari sa kanya yun.
Anna's home is built with canopy and sheet metal. Anna, who has become a DaAi observer in 2016, also lives a harsh life. Originally, she was afraid of strangers, but these children with TB have helped her open up.
Magkaroon ng lakas ng loob.
Now I have the courage to be with people. In the past, I seldom went out, and I would leave home only to buy things.
Kasi dati, hindi naman ako yung palalabas, lalabas lang ako pag...
They are happy to hear me say, take care of the children. I'm also happy that they actually listen to what I have to say.
Pinapakinggan nila yung mga payo ko sa kanila.
Being a DaAi observer has its many challenges. In 2016, the Filipino government launched an anti-drug campaign, and the villagers thought Anna was a narcotics dealer.
Kasi nung time na yun, wala pa akong blazer, hindi pa nila kilala ang Tzu Chi.
Back then, I did not have a volunteer uniform, and they did not know anything about Tzu Chi. I did not have an official ID badge either, so it was difficult for them to know what I was doing. When I first became a DaAi observer, I often prayed when I was walking. I would speak to God, I have not stopped searching. Please give me strength and guidance in finding the place.
Mahanap ko na sila, wag naman pong matagal.
Although the villagers misunderstood Anna for quite a while, she did not give up on saving patients. She overcame her fears with the help of prayers.
Pinapasalamatan ko po, Panginoon, na ako iyong...
Thank you, God, for protecting me.
Maraming salamat din po sa mga...
Thank you for guiding these children. Thank you for protecting them through all of this.
Iyong pinag-iingatan din.
Up until now, when she comes across villagers who misunderstand her, she still explains her purpose for visiting. Now that she's wearing ID badge and volunteer vest, the villagers have an easier time accepting her role.
Dito, alam na nila na ang Tzu Chi tumutulong.
They know that Tzu Chi is helping people. So when they see Tzu Chi volunteers, they know that there are people being helped.
Tzu Chi volunteers have provided a lot of different services in San Mateo, so the local residents recognized Tzu Chi. When they found out that Tzu Chi was providing medications for TB patients, they started to welcome DOTS observers into their communities.
Although being a DOTS observer has its challenges, they still overcome all the difficulties to fulfill their duties and deliver medications and hope to the TB patients. Do you want to know if your liver is healthy? Now there's no need for a biopsy, as computer imaging technology has dramatically improved in recent years. The medical industry now uses a liver FibroScan to measure liver conditions.
The liver has no nerve ending, so it cannot feel pain. Once it becomes diseased, the most obvious signs are fatigue and weakness in the limbs, which are symptoms that can easily be ignored. Through blood work and ultrasound, doctors can determine the health of the liver.
We'll do a blood test to check liver index to see if it is inflamed or fully functioning. Second, we will arrange for an ultrasound exam for the liver. The most important thing about the ultrasound exam of the liver is determining if there are any changes, such as fibrosis, cirrhosis, or even liver tumors.
The liver is located in the abdominal cavity of the human body and is responsible for tissue growth, repair, metabolism, detoxification, and other functions. Once inflamed, fibrotic, or even hardened, it can easily result in liver cancer. Now, the liver FibroScan is able to accurately quantify the extent of liver fibrosis. Not only is it non-invasive with no pain or bleeding, it shortens the inspection time and is highly accurate.
In about 5 minutes or so, you can complete this exam. So whether it's treating a disease or assessment or tracking, it's easier to get these results.
The latest liver FibroScan can provide effective measurement through an ultrasound waves going through the skin to the liver. This determines fibrosis or hardness of the liver. The principle used is simply calculating the response and speeds of these ultrasound waves to determine the hardness or the elasticity of the liver. This information is then converted into specific values. Liver health is important to human life. Doctors remind us that the secret to a healthy liver is helping protect it by not taking too much medicine, avoid being fatigued, not drinking too much, eating a balanced diet, and getting a hepatitis B vaccine protection. Furthermore, regular checkups can also ensure the most optimal liver health.
Research from the Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital has found that hepatitis B patients have a 20% chance of developing liver cancer. If they go the Western medicine route, the incidence of liver cancer can be reduced to about 10%. If combined with traditional Chinese medicine, the incidence of liver cancer can be even reduced by another 5%.
Taiwan is a region where hepatitis B is prevalent. According to a survey, the rate of hepatitis B in adults over 40 years old is as high as 20%.
After eating the medicine, I feel that my whole body is getting better, and there are almost no side effects. This medicine is not covered by insurance.
In the acute inflammatory phase, antiviral drugs can successfully block the virus from multiplying, avoiding repeated inflammation, returning liver function indexes to normal.
The most important drug for the treatment of hepatitis B has limits in its effectiveness. Currently, it can only control the disease and can't cure it.
Since the hepatitis B virus hides in liver cells and is not totally blocked, once drugs are stopped or the body's immunity is lowered, hepatitis B virus will replicate, and it's easy to encounter a relapse or experience the onset of liver cancer. During this time, traditional Chinese medicine not only improves the immunity of patients with hepatitis B, but also helps control the disease.
After eating Chinese medicine, I feel that my blood pressure dropped very quickly. The effect is quite good, and I don't feel as tired.
In the past, medicine often opposed the intervention of traditional Chinese medicine. Today, such medicine can play an important role in assisted or integrated treatment. Through clinical treatment and empirical scientific research, patients are gaining more hope.
What TCM hopes to achieve is helping nurse the body back to good health. It will also help adjust and improve the body's immunity, giving the virus little chance to thrive.
Through molecular biological research, the incidence of liver cancer in patients with hepatitis B who take traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine can be reduced, much more than patients who only take Western medicine alone. Physicians remind everyone that the key to their liver protection is making sure there's good communication between TCM and Western medicine practitioners. This will ensure that both parties understand the effects of such medication and how to enact the best possible protection against hepatitis B.
Over the years, Tzu Chi volunteers have been providing love and care in many prisons all over Taiwan. Recently, the Jingsi Books and Cafe set up a Jingsi reading room inside the Taipei prison to give encouragement to the offenders.
The 49th Jingsi reading room in Taiwan has officially opened.
Now we have the Jingsi reading room in the prison. It provides many books and a better reading environment to us. It's very helpful in encouraging the offenders to read more.
Although it is set up inside the prison, people can still feel the full effects of Tzu Chi spirits and humanistic culture. Besides Jingsi desks and chairs, there are also a wide variety of books on the bookshelves.
There are many inspirational books which give me a positive direction in life. Since I'm a young father, some of the books give me a deeper understanding on children and their thoughts. I also can now understand myself better.
One of the offenders here said that he is not serving a sentence, but pursuing further education. He has a chance to read good books and learn to speak good words. In addition, he will find a type of calmness and hopefully the right direction in his life from reading the books.
Volunteers also donated more than 3,700 Jingsi efforts and booklets. They hope that the words of wisdom can nourish the offender's mind and soul, as well as help them find a new direction in their lives.
In China, directors of the Grand Orient Company in Wuxi led more than 100 people, including their staff members and Tzu Chi volunteers, to Klinkabad Mountain. People of all ages went on the ancient military road to pick up trash, doing their part in protecting the environment.
More than 100 people, including Tzu Chi volunteers and the Grand Orient Company staff members, joined hands to clean the mountain. The ancient military road, which has nearly 1,000 years of history, attracts many outdoor enthusiasts. However, they have left garbage everywhere.
I saw many kinds of garbage in the mountain. There are plastic bags and snacks that have shells.
Since my granddaughter has come to do this good deed, I have no excuse not to take part. No matter how high the mountain is and how tired I am, I should come to help out.
After participating in this cleanup activity today, I felt very happy. I realized that we should not throw trash on the ground.
In our everyday life, we should be conscious of environmental protection. For example, we should educate children how to sort recyclables properly. We should set a good example for them to follow.
Our staff members work so hard to pick up trash. Everyone's responsible for saving the earth and leaving a beautiful environment for our next generation.
After 2 hours, dozens of garbage bags were collected and then sent to the Recycling Education Center. Tzu Chi volunteers were there to teach the participants about recycling. While reusing the recycled resources, people can also carry out the acts of giving.
In China, Guangxi Tzu Chi volunteers held an activity in Nanning to promote a vegetarian diet. Regular cooking volunteers were invited to teach the participants how to make meatless dishes.
In order to promote the vegetarian diet, Guangxi Tzu Chi volunteers held an activity in Nanning. Many participants invited their friends to come and learn how to cook a variety of vegetarian dishes.
It's good to adopt a vegetarian diet. My friends also enjoy eating meatless food.
我是以前还是也是经常出去吃点素食，我不自己做，所以说我今天来看看怎么做。
今天有学到了吗？学到哪一样菜可以有些自己动手做一下的？
有这个计划。
Since the day of the event coincided with the Mid-Autumn Festival, volunteers also demonstrated how to make mooncakes with multi-grain products. Through the DIY process, the participants were able to improve the parent-child relationship.
I made the mooncake for the first time. I've never done it before. I feel a sense of accomplishment. I made a pretty one. The mooncake should be a very special gift. Through the teacher's explanation, I realized it is easy to make mooncakes. We have learned how to make it. I feel very warm and happy. Now I can feel the happiness that a vegetarian diet has brought me. It is both eco-friendly and healthy.
Adopting a vegetarian diet not only does good to our health, but it also helps slow down global warming. Through various activities, the volunteers hope that the participants can start to cook meatless dishes at home themselves.
Chile volunteers visited a senior care center, which they've been going to for 2 years now, to celebrate the National Day with the elderly residents. Besides entertaining the seniors with a variety of activities, the volunteers also promoted vegetarianism.
Dancing with joy to liven up the atmosphere, the volunteers have come to a senior care center at the outskirts of Santiago, Chile, to celebrate the National Day with the elderly. Besides dancing the cueca, volunteers also brought the traditional pastry called the empanada, but this time it is made with all vegetable fillings.
This is a tasty lunch or afternoon tea meal. You can see that there are a variety of food ingredients. The dish is large enough to serve 8 people.
The 8-year-old volunteer Rocio brought her father to make the simple but delicious dishes together, satisfying the seniors.
I feel very blessed because I have the chance to bring happiness to other people. The present is a wonderful moment. I hope those seniors who are ill can recover soon. I brought all the love and care from my climbing partners.
2 years ago, the center suffered financial struggles. Thankfully, the volunteers provided the needed supplies and care in their time of need. This time, volunteers seized the National Day holiday to promote vegetarianism and healthy diets to the senior residents.
Upon learning of the earthquake in Indonesia, DaAi kindergarteners in Kipan and Banda Indah of Malaysia have been praying for the quake survivors. The children also donated their savings, hoping to help the affected residents get through the tough times. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.